How y'all doing today? My name's Ayin, and today's topic of discussion is going to be dressing up discouragement. Dressing up discouragement. Before we dive into this topic, I'm going to preface it by saying this. I make two types of videos on here. We look at recognizing unhealthy things, and we look at recognizing healthy things. The reason why it's two topics and it's divided down the middle like that is because I know for myself, and I believe it's true, for others as well, you can recognize the things that are unhealthy, but sometimes people don't necessarily know how to move or navigate around those things, or to know how to pick up healthy things and place the healthy things down or remove them from out of your circle. So you get it's not like you really build up a resilience. You get used to dealing with this negative, and the only way of coping with it is just like perhaps doing the same thing that you've been doing throughout time, addressing it with others and going right back to the situation, and just it's a never-ending cycle. So a lot of times people recognize the unhealthy because you know how it makes you feel, but you have a problem processing that and putting it back out into something healthy. The flip side of that, going to talk about the things that we address on this channel in regards to healthy things, recognizing healthy, people don't always do that. I've seen it all too often, experienced it all too often. You have something healthy sitting right in front of your face, you'll overlook it to look at what's unhealthy. Or it's just that the unhealthy doesn't, the healthy or the inspiring thing doesn't touch you as deeply as what's unhealthy. Someone give you a compliment, oh, that's awesome. Maybe you felt good just for that day. Somebody does something unhealthy, you may be talking about it for 2 weeks. Like I said, recognizing what's healthy is just as important as recognizing what's unhealthy. I've talked about it in earlier videos where I talked about when you remove unhealthy things, you got to replace it with something. Why not make it healthy? I've seen all too often as well, people pull out some of these bad habits only to replace them with something that they deem not as bad, but it's still not good. And we're focusing on making progress here. So, with me prefacing what I'm talking about with this video, dressing up discouragement, I think it'll hit home a little harder. I'm thinking about those sideways comments. I'm thinking about those ways where people, they may really be caught off guard by your moves, the moves that you've made, the progress that you're making forward, and it's like, whoa. It's an overwhelming feeling, it's an overwhelming feeling of, I almost feel claustrophobic because, man, this person, they might be pulling their head on me. It's a certain rush of feelings that they don't even know how they're dealing with them, and it's like, I'm supposed to be this person's friend or cousin or sister, brother, mother, father, whoever, whatever label you want to put on. It's like, I'm supposed to feel happy because this label is put on here, but I don't. I feel this jealousy, this envy creeping up. So what happens is they say a comment and it comes out and it's like, I'm halfway wanting to be encouraging because this is what I should say, but this is really on what I'm feeling. And it's discouragement. And they're dressing it up like, hey, I'm happy for you, but it's really sideways. And they don't have a problem with you succeeding or pulling out. You just can't pull out ahead of them. They're fine as long as you're on their coattails. So they dress up discouragement. The moment, as soon as they got time to think about it, they think about it. They think about it, take a few steps back, and go, how can I present this to them in a way that they're able to accept it? They're dressing up discouragement. Now, going back to what I prefaced this video with, what I was talking about, recognizing unhealthy things and recognizing healthy things, it's another reason why I brought that up. I hadn't said this in a long while, but it was something that if you dig back on this channel, I used to say a lot in my earlier videos. Recognizing constructive criticism. People get it misconstrued when they're thinking about constructive criticism and hating. I know in earlier videos I've talked about this. It's a few people that I think about right offhand, that they're telling you something, and to keep from, like I said, trying to rehash everything that I've stated in some of the older videos, I'll just play it out like this. They got a get quick rich scheme, not well thought out. It's very short-sighted. It's a lot of holes in their plan, and you can tell they hadn't really thought it out. They just thought about this end result of what they can just get. So it's a get rich quick scheme. So they're running across you to see what you think. You're supposed to be their friend, right? You're going to talk to them in a constructive way, right? Because after all, you want them to succeed, right? It's constructive criticism. This is different from what I just got done talking about before I went down this path of constructive criticism, with people dressing up discouragement. And sometimes people have a way of misconstruing them both, because they think, okay, you're my friend, I'm telling you something, you should be all on board. And they hadn't even gotten in touch with what they're really doing, if they should even really do what they're doing. And a lot of times, they'll know that what they're thinking about is half concocted. They'll know that it's half right. But they just want you to be on board. They're looking for a say yes person. Is that you? So now that I've talked about that as well, on realizing what type of feedback do you want, when you take everything that I've said in its entirety, from the beginning of this video, talking about recognizing what's unhealthy, recognizing what's healthy, knowing those people that's in your circle, know what you're trying to do first and foremost. When you take all of those things and you put them together as a whole, you should be able to recognize everything that I just stated in this video. You should recognize if a person is coming at you sideways. You should recognize whether a person has your best interest at hand when they're talking with you. How they saying it? What is the history that you have up with that person? And you should also be able to recognize when somebody's flat out dressing up discouragement. Man, this is something that the person always says to me. Every time I try to do something, they say it, and they say it with a smile. That's what I'm talking about. What have they, when they've met me with discouraging remarks towards something I'm trying to do, have they tried to back it up or plug in something that I could do to succeed? I mean, that idea, I hear you up on it, but what about instead of doing like this portion of, not that they're necessarily trying to change my plan or my idea, but I'm just thinking about the way that they may be presenting it to me. I've seen X, Y may happen in regards to this. Have you thought about this as well, or have you looked into this? I'm just trying to give you something on the way that you present something to them. Oh yeah, that's a good idea, man. Yeah, thank you. No, I didn't think about that. Or maybe it's a resource that you don't know about, and they see that this could be a benefit to you. Not even necessarily discouraging or trying to turn you away from one thing or the other on what you're doing. Just putting another healthy option on the table. Anything. Like I said, it doesn't have to be either of those examples. I'm just talking about anything to aid in the assistance of what that person is saying. Or, how about this? You don't know what to say? You don't have any type of input? Okay, wait, hey, that's awesome. Man, I look forward to it. What can you contribute that's encouraging to the person? You don't know what to say? How about just encouraging them? You don't know. So since you don't know, why should the first thing be out of your mouth something discouraging? Hate, envy. Since you don't know, and obviously this person is coming at you out of left field with this idea, it doesn't matter whether you think they can or cannot do it. That's not what we're talking about. You thinking about what they can or cannot do. I'm talking about having something to contribute to what they're sharing with you. If you don't have anything to contribute, how about being quiet? How about, hey, filling in with something positive? I don't know how many times things have been brought to me. Maybe a person is talking about pursuing something. It's like, look, I don't know anything up about that field. I know to a degree on certain things that you should have in regards to trying to run your own business or do whatever it is that you're trying to do. I mean, just like certain topical information, but I have no idea on what you're trying to do. So I definitely don't have anything to contribute in regards to letting you know how you could do it better. So since it's something out of the realm of what I'm talking about, hey man, have at it. Man, I hope you blow the roof off that thing. I hope you truly excel. Man, hey, it sounds like something you could do. I've often followed it up with referring back to the strengths that I know that a person has. Man, I've seen you do, this might not have anything to do with what they're trying to pursue, but it's like, man, I've seen you do this, that, and other over here in this field of expertise. I don't see why it would be any different than you succeeding in this. Something. You see how easy that was? That was just on the fly. Opposed to trying to dress it up and put it in a package, and you know it's a ticking time bomb waiting to blow up in their face with whatever that you've concocted to give to them, but you're trying to dress it up in the package. So you're wanting them to fail. Address that with you. It's something inside with you that you hadn't dealt with. If you're feeling that monster, that beast of envy or jealousy creep up, you address it before going and putting it off on others. Quit dressing up discouragement. That's the topic of this video. If you hadn't already, hit that subscribe button. Follow me on my other social media, Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram. Obviously, I'm on YouTube. This is where I'm hosting my videos at. Stay encouraged. Avoid being discouraged. I'm Ayin. You have a good one.